guys just heard the little clip of Beyonce's new song, My House. Um, she just dropped her Renaissance movie. I did not go to see it because I actually went to a concert, but I will stream it if it comes out for me to stream. I didn't get the opportunity to do that because I was sick. So let's do the intro and then let's jump into today's episode. Hi, guys. Welcome back to She Talks Life podcast. This is your lovely host, Vaughn. And on today's episode, we're just going to chit chat it up. We're going to talk some Renaissance. We're going to talk about Beyonce and Act Two. And yeah, let's talk about this song. This song is called My House. It was released over the weekend with the whole idea of her movie coming out in the AMC movie theaters. I was, like I said, unfortunately did not get to see the movie or went to the movies because I was under the weather. However, I did go to the Renaissance concert here in Tennessee. She came to Nashville in July, and when I tell you I had a time, I had a time. I met two girls from one lived in DC and one lived in Atlanta. They were best friends for years, and so they came down to Tennessee to actually spend the weekend and got to see Beyonce um, in the nosebleed section. I didn't have a bad seat, or I wouldn't say I had a bad seat. I just, it was. Listen, the prices was just pricing, and we wasn't trying to do all that to be down there on the floor. If I ain't up in the little stage with Miss Beyonce, I ain't paying that kind of money. So I'm just gonna keep it real with you. But I did enjoy the concert. I am a big Beyonce fan. I've been a Beyonce fan since Destiny's Child. And here's the thing, I am not a Destiny's Child fan, if that makes like, is that okay to say? Because, yeah, I'm not a Destiny's Child fan, but I am a Beyonce fan and I am a Kelly Rowland fan too. I do like some of Kelly Rowland's music. For some reason, I kind of like Kelly Rowland as an actress in her little Lifetime movies that she be doing and stuff during holidays. I like that too. But let's just jump into some of the lyrics of this song because she said, "Who let my goons out that house? Who out there a talking all that mouth?" And she goes on to say, "Call the paparazzi, ain't got clips to hide tonight." Somebody done got Miss Beyonce mad. And she said, "Fuck all y'all, because y'all talk too much. And y'all got to talk about her child and her child's hair and her child's dance move. And I'm going to tell you something. As a black person, we critique our own very, very fucking harsh. Now, don't get me wrong, white folks do it too, but they do it in a different light. They do it differently. They show shade differently to their counterparts. But black people, whoo, child, when black people don't like something, they voice their opinion real quick without decorum or softening it up a little bit. And since she married Jay-Z, there's always been a controversy. It's like why she went for that ugly dude. I do not think he's an ugly guy. I never thought he was ugly. He's not my cup of tea, but hey, he was hers. And then we started talking about her daughter, why she don't comb the girl's hair and that kind of thing. And it made me feel very uneasy as I see people attacking a baby who can't even speak her own voice yet at the time. And we don't realize, and I think this is where me learning a lot of things in psychology about trauma is that trauma stems from so many avenues, right? There's physical trauma, there's the mental trauma and emotional trauma. And we criticize so harshly of our kids. We talk about our kids' weight. We embarrass them instead of us like trying to figure out what's wrong. We don't sit down and really look at it that way. We look at it as like a blame. It's like, oh God, you why you so fat? Why you eating so much? And stop eating this and stop that. And I don't know where that stemmed from, where that came from, because I didn't grow up like that. But whenever there's the Thanksgiving roll around, the holidays roll around, we see all the memes talking about when they go to their family house, they talk about their weight, they talk about their relationship status, and it never seems from like it's coming from a good place. It's always a lot of negative connotation behind it. And I've realized that a lot. It's like, even with my family too, I can't win for losing. And at this point, I've gotten to that age where I will continue to do me and show you through pictures and if you're on my social media and the contact that I have with you, I'm just going to show you that how I'm living my life that I'm living. You could sit over there and make up your own image, your own, narrative, your own story about what I'm doing with my life. Because when I hopped on the plane and go travel the world and enjoy my life, you over there sitting now wondering why I'm 300 pounds or 150 pounds. Like, oh, she too fat. Or oh, why she's so skinny. It's like there's never an in between. It's always you're this or you're that. And so I've come to the realization that the older I get, I don't give a fuck about what people say. And I think as I was listening to Beyonce's song, she doesn't give a fuck anymore. She's like, I'm going to release all of this pent up frustration and hate that I've been holding on to for all these years. And I'm going to actually let go and let God and live and raise my children and be with my husband in all aspects of. Oftentimes we project so much on others because it's our own thing, what we're dealing with on the inside, so we project it out on the outside. um, we think that we have to, how should I put this? We think we have a say. We think we have a entitlement to people's lives, and so we feel like if we say things, it's okay to say it. They're supposed to accept what we say because we're looking out for you. So recently, Tasha K. If you don't know who Tasha K is, you should know by now. She had a little run-in with Cardi B. Cardi B sued her, and she has to pay Cardi B all these millions of dollars. Now, I've watched Tasha K when she was on YouTube, and you know in the early days, and I used to catch her, and I would love watching her. And it's for a long time I had to watch Tasha K, but I think since the situation happened with Cardi B, she filed for bankruptcy and she's reorganizing her business and her brand. She's actually becoming more likable to some, because there's still the hate there, right? Because as as people in the younger generation, I find we like to jump on the bandwagon, so we don't really assess the whole entire situation. We just jump on the bandwagon. Now, I'm not saying that Tasha K was right in anything she did with Cardi B. That situation was handled in the courts. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a judge. I don't know what went wrong, where, what not. All I do say is there are some truths to things that Tasha K is saying. And when I say it that way, I mean the fact that now she's bringing on guests to tell their side of the story, which allows Tasha K not to be sued again, because you're telling your side of the story on my platform. And so I have, you know, I've covered myself. Now I can't go and say, oh yeah, this person said this and I got this and they told me this about you. No, let them come on the show and whoever she's rebranding with. And Tasha K had said when Blue Ivy was on tour and she came out for the very first time, she was like, oh my God, y'all need to stop lying because that baby was stiff up there on that stage. And if you're gonna come out and be a dancer, you got to show up and do the work and do the rehearsals and come out here and give it your all. And Beyonce, someone said that in Beyonce's film, she actually talks about that time when Blue Ivy wanted to be in the show, and she was a little hesitant because she didn't want, like a mother protecting her young, she didn't want her to feel embarrassed or bullied or hurt or anything like that. And so she allowed her to do the first show, and she told her if it didn't went well, she wouldn't do it. But then after she, in one clip, somebody recorded from the movie was like, um, Beyonce says she didn't know where she got access to a phone from, but apparently somebody at school at the time showed her what people were saying about her on the internet. And so she went hard. She went back to her mom and she's like, I'm going to do the rehearsals. I'm going to go learn the dances. And as she progressed, she got better and stuff like that. Now, I think because it's coming out of Tasha K's mouth, we are ready to jump down her throat, because here's the thing about memories. Memories don't leave you alone, and they never forget you. And a lot of times if you have bad press on you, people will continuously remember you for it. But I'm gonna put this scenario out there. Kim Kardashian, bad press, sex tape, whack ass sex tape in my opinion. um and you know she capitalized off of it. Her mother and her family, they capitalized off of it. They got their TV show up and booming. They making money. She got Skims. And let me tell you something. All the girlies is in Skims. Even me was in Skims. Okay, because I do have a few Skims. But now I'm in Yitty. I'm a Yitty girl now. So go ahead, Lizzo, and sponsor your girl. But yeah, I do love both Skims and Yitty, but I prefer Yitty now. And we don't we don't always remind Kim of her sex tape. We don't always remind Kim of her bad choices, bad behavior. Now Kim is on the news. Kim is in colleges speaking, and she's doing this legal thing and all this stuff, and that's what we're remembering. And I want to show you the difference, right? Tasha K fucked up. There's no wrong, like there's no way getting around that. She fucked up. She did. She fucked up. She wrote a check that her mouth could not cash, and that's where she's at. But we can't keep holding her on it because, like she said, that happened. She's rebranding and she's becoming a different, um how should I put it? What is she? I don't even know what to call her. Gossip column, gossip, whatever. And as Tasha K is saying things, people are like, oh my God, you're so harsh. That's a child, this. But the internet critiqued her. She saw it and she went hard as motivation because she wants to be up there and she wants the world to see her. And she wants to be recognized as not only Blue Ivy, Beyonce's daughter, but she wants to stand out and separate herself from everything else. And I feel like, I'm not giving Tasha K a lot of toot toot your horn, because there were other people that were saying it, like, hey, Beyonce's daughter was a little stiff up there. But that's the more she got comfortable, and that's normal. That is normal for everyone, right? When we start to do something, the nerves set in, and we don't get it right on the first try, but we keep going back and we become determined and we aspire to be better. And so that's the reason why she went back on out there. Because here's the thing: if she had seen that and she had took it to heart, she would withdrew into herself and she would never want to be out there anymore. And I commend Beyonce's daughter for actually taking the step to let all the negative noise out and say, I know my worth. I know who I am, and I know I can do this. So let me show you. I'm gonna practice. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna show y'all this is who I am. And that is exactly what she did. That's what I like. I like to see people get up from their mistakes or their failures. They don't give up. And something Issa Rae said the other day, she was on The View, and they asked her a question about her mistakes along the way. As you know, she started out on YouTube, and something she said was, I'm still learning through my mistakes. Making, I'm going to make the mistakes, but I'm going to keep going. She says, if I decide to just stop completely and not do anything, then yeah, I didn't progress. But because I keep going after I've learned one mistake happened over and over, like she's like, I didn't give up. I can't. There's no end to it. I'm not giving it up. I'm actually going to learn from the mistakes so that I could be better and keep going and achieving the goals that I set for myself. And that's what people have to think about. Don't give up. When you give up, that's it. It's over. That dream is gone because you're never going to go back to it. When you give up, that dream is gone. Um, I remember for a very long time, I wanted to be a writer. And, I started writing from the time I was like 13, 14. Um, and I would write my own book reports, like storytelling and all that stuff. I was doing a lot of that. And I've always wanted to be a writer. And I got up every day and I was like, I'm going to be a writer. I'm going to write romance novels. I'm going to be this bestseller. I'm going to do all this. I'm going to do all that. And it took me a long time to share my work with other people. And it was funny because when I started sharing my work, because I like to write poetry as well, I did take a poetry class. So when I started deciding to share my poetry, I went and I was in college at the time, and I took a creative writing class and I submitted my work. My professor was like, "Hey, we have this magazine that comes out every year," and she was like, "Why don't you submit some of your poetry to this magazine?" And at the time I was like scared because I just wanted to keep it hidden and not share to the world. And I was like, I'll think about it. She's like, no. She's like, you're really good. And I think, just pick these amount of poems and submit it. And all the ones that I thought were way better than the poem they picked, because they picked one of my poems and put it in the book, in the magazine. And the one that they picked, I didn't think was great, but it spoke different to them. They depicted it so well. I even got up and read the poem at the thing because I went to the event that they hosted. I was a little nervous, but I got up there anyway and I did my poem. I read my poem. And, but after that, I found a way to self publish my first poetry book. And I never stopped. Like, I kept publishing things. I haven't written in a long time. I haven't written a book in a long time because life happened, and but I'm working on that right now. I'm working on a book, and I actually printed out the book cover and have it here. But it's coming soon. I don't know when. Maybe 2024, maybe 2025. I don't know when. But I'm working on it, and if I keep at it, I will definitely get there. But I say all that to say it's like, we can't give up on our dreams and goals if we know that, we can learn from the little dips and path that we take along the way. Because yeah, I said I want to be a writer, but what if me writing those books and publishing them out there was just the icing, and then here comes the big cake when I write this book about some discovery, a journey, and all this stuff that I'm going to write. I'll tell you guys all about the name of the book. Um, and put it out there, and that's my hit, right? That's where my write. I'm still a writer even though I haven't published anything in a while. I'm still a writer. I still write. I still jot things down. I still, like, put some poetry together every now and again. I haven't shared any new poems in a very long time, but we don't give up when it's passion driven. And no one should ever give up when it's passion driven. But thinking about listening to Beyonce's song, and I think Act Two is going to be prevalent to a lot of I'm not giving a fuck. And whatever I give you, you're gonna have to take. And no matter what you say behind the scenes, I'm gonna continue to give and give and give. But it's at my own take, not yours, not because you want it. Because when we think about it, Rihanna's not giving us any new music. She's never going to. And if she does, it's probably gonna be music for someone else, like she did with the Wakanda movie, the Black Panther movie. Um, I don't see her putting out another album, and if she does, it's going to be very rare, probably another 5, 10 years. I don't know. There was a story circulating saying that she didn't want to do music anymore because the music industry has some real fucked up shit in it. And we gotta talk about it because we talk about the Diddy situation. We're not gonna talk about it in this episode because we're already at 21 minutes in this episode, and we do not go past a certain time limit on the episodes because it's just what it is. But we're gonna talk about that whole Diddy situation because I never got to talk about it when the whole mess was going on. But I'm gonna leave you guys with that. I'm gonna cut this one short today, and I'm gonna leave you guys with this. Listen to the song. It's called My House. It's by Beyonce. It just came out. If you've seen if you've been to the concert, how did you feel about it? Did you love it? What was it? What was about it that you didn't like? I liked the concert, but I didn't love it. And I think because of, I think the cities were like how the concerts were coming so fast, right? So by the time they got to Tennessee, one, it was like I had to wait for her 2 hours for her to come out the ground because she needs it to be black outside to show all the graphics and all that stuff. Because I'm gonna tell you, I danced my ass off on some of the songs. I didn't really know the lyrics to all of the Renaissance songs, but Church Girl is my favorite. Um, which is the other song? The one that she sang for her husband. Let me tell y'all which one it is. Cause let me tell you, I played Beyonce at least 3 to 4 times a week. Okay? Yeah. Plastic off the sofa. So my favorites is Virgo's Groove because I'm a Virgo. Yes. And so Virgo's Groove, Plastic Off the Sofa, Church Girls, Energy, and Cozy. Those are my 5 songs off that album, the Renaissance album, that I actually really like, and I kind of like. I make sure to go through those over and over and over and over, like replay those. But currently, what I'm listening to is just a compilation of different genres of music. I like different types of music. Um, I listen to a lot of rock, a lot of heavy metal, and yeah, that's just me. But yeah, I'm just listening to different types of music at the moment. I'm doing a lot of audiobooks as well. So if you're into reading, and because those are like, I find, like I was telling my therapist, that I find that quiet time is required. The older you get, quiet time is required. But I don't want to spend my quiet time stuck to a TV. And while I'm around the house and I'm cleaning up or I'm doing things, I like to listen to my audiobook. And with all the smart technology now, Alexa can hook into my Audible and she could play my book throughout the house when I'm home alone and I'm just walking around cleaning and doing whatever. And so I love to read. It's something that really, really sets the mood for me because it calms me down, especially when I am, you know, had a rough week and I want some downtime, how do I do some self care? And reading becomes a self care moment for me because I can sit on the couch, I can read on my Kindle, or I can just listen to the audiobook while I'm sitting on the couch or laying in bed at night before I go to bed. I like to listen to at least one or two chapters of the book that I'm currently reading. So like things like that really I enjoy doing when it's downtime. But music, of course, I love to listen to music all throughout the day. It keeps me grounded, and I enjoy it because I remember a while back I did mention to her that I realized like I'm not listening to as much music as I used to. And she said, really, I did not know that. You had mentioned it. And I said, it really didn't dawn on me until recently. I was like, I used to go into work, I used to listen to Steve Harvey Martin's show driving in for my 45 minute to an hour drive. So I had music going. So every day I had music. I got in the office. I'm getting ready to do my work. I have my headphones in. I'm listening to music. I'm listening to podcasts. I'm listening to different things. And I'm there. Like some of my favorite podcasts, I since being at home, I can't even get into them like I used to. But now that I'm back home and I'm in the office, I feel like once I get settled, really settled, I want to start going back to some of the podcasts that I really like. Like I love Getting Grown with Jade and Kia. I listen to the slutty shit, horrible decisions, cocktails, dirty discussions, therapy for black girls, pivot with purpose. Then I have some of the other ones, the break with Patricia from YouTube. Um, to name a few, but I do listen to, I love podcasts and mostly about like everything. It doesn't have to be a specific genre of podcast because I can listen to anything. Haven't gotten into the true crime yet, but definitely I might give it a try next year. Who knows? But anywho, thank you guys for listening to today's episode, and I will talk to you guys on the next one. Bye, guys.